Kickstarting the bulletin with some breaking news coming in now. According to sources, chances of finding any survivors in the missing IAF aircraft are very bleak at this stage. 3 Coast Guard ships, the Samudra, Prairie, Sagar and Vishwasta, have been carrying out searches since 10:30 p.m. last night. The depth of the sea at the area where the aircraft went missing is about 3,000 meters. However, the capability of rescue operations under sea is still 500 meters. Sources in the Defence Ministry also told India Today that the aircraft AN-32 might have crashed and moved hundreds of miles under the sea. All right, so at this point, that's the latest update that we're getting you. While rescue operations are on, search operations are on, the chances now of finding that aircraft, more so finding survivors, seems very, very bleak. Let's go across to Jugal Purohit joining us live with more details. Jugal, if you could get us a quick update on the search operations. We understand, of course, the chances now are getting bleak with every passing hour, because it also means that if this is a crash, then the debris that's left over, also people who were in that crash, that will keep going lower and lower into the sea.
Well, I'll just draw your attention to a similar event that took place in June last year from Chennai. A Coast Guard plane had taken off. It vanished mid-air during its journey, and not a single speck of the debris was found till 36 days when it was found at about 900 meters at the bottom of the floor. So it isn't necessary that the debris be actually found. It all depends on the manner in which the plane seems to have crashed or hit the surface. Now, what we do understand is that there is immense difficulty being faced by the Navy, by the Air Force, by the Indian Coast Guard, both ships as well as the aircraft, because of weather. The sea state is extremely rough. The ships which sailed all night to reach the area of search this morning, this afternoon, are unable to carry out their tasks to the best of their abilities. The aircraft isn't able to really scan the sea in the way it would like to, because there's too much of cloud cover. So what I'm given to understand is that at least at this point in time, about 30 hours plus after the aircraft went missing, the search agencies still do not have an entire access to the area that they are supposed to search for. The Defence Minister was there. He said that no stone should be left unturned insofar as trying to get these people out is concerned. Another aspect of this operation, and as we've been repeatedly seeing wherever search and rescue operations are conducted, whether it's Siachen or at sea, you do not rule out the finding out of survivors till you find them all dead. So at this point in time, the forces are very clear that they are going to look for survivors, they're going to look for debris, and they're going to look for whatever is supposed to be looked at. They do not at this point want to get involved into this aspect. But the biggest problem, as I said, is weather. And the second aspect is that at this point in time, because the aircraft, when it vanished, was out of the radar coverage, the agencies do not have a fix about just which is the precise area. There are estimates which are being used on account of which more and more area or wider areas being searched. All of that is taking place. But insofar as the weather is concerned, unless that actually turns slightly benevolent, the entire operation, the biggest perhaps possibly that India has ever mounted in maritime domain, will not really be able to deliver much. Back to you.
And Jugal, as I said earlier, time really is of the essence, and at this point it's been over 24 hours. We know that aircraft possibly went missing at about 9:45 a.m. yesterday morning. Also, what we have to keep in mind, based on what you've said, we've noticed that the forces, Mr. Parikar of course said that forces will be expanding their search area. Do you think that's because they are looking at the possibility also of the debris having been spread out, considering the amount of time it's been?
Well, if I am to use a technical term, they call it the expanding square search, which basically means you point of contact, an initial point, the point of crashing, for if you will, and from that point is where they keep increasing the square. They keep increasing the area. Now, yesterday, for example, it was 50 nautical miles by 50 nautical miles. Today, that was expanded to about 75 into 75.
Yes.
And as I said, with time going by, this area will increase, which also means that your resources will have to be deployed over a much larger area, thereby decreasing their efficiency. So, of course, this is the golden time time. This is the golden hour to locate whatever you can. The cost, the question is also of lives. But the problem is that the weather is such that the assets which have been deployed are unable to perform to the task, to the capabilities that they can and they should. Back to you.
All right, Jugal, thanks for getting us those updates. Of course, we're all hoping for the best here. This particular aircraft disappeared at around 9:45 a.m. yesterday. To also get our viewers up to date with the latest updates, Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar had also reached the Tambaram airbase, which is where the aircraft took off from. He's been briefed by the IAF as well as the Navy about the search and rescue operations. Parrikar is conducting an aerial survey to take stock of the situation at this point. 1 submarine, 8 aircraft, 13 ships at this point have been deployed to track down that aircraft. The search area has also been extended, as Jugal pointed out earlier. The Navy has also sent a specialized ship, the INS Investigator, from the Port Blair to find the missing IAF aircraft. The transport aircraft, which was carrying 29 personnel, went missing over the Bay of Bengal yesterday morning, raising concerns over its fate. And now there are 29 personnel on board, 3 Air Force pilots, 3 Navy personnel, 1 Coast Guard, 2 Andaman Nicobar Command personnel and 8 Naval Armament Depot personnel were among those 29 on board the aircraft.
Yeah, Coast Guard ship Samudra Paradar and Coast Guard ship Sagar, both of them were deployed yesterday. Both have reached area. The Sagar had reached yesterday at about 10:30 p.m. Samudra Paradar has reached today morning. In addition, Coast Guard ships were also deployed from Port Blair during the initial phase just to cover up the search area close to the Port Blair site. Dornier aircraft from Coast Guard are being deployed regularly in addition to the Naval and Air Force assets as mentioned by Fort now.
Okay, as you're all aware, the Navy and the Coast Guard both are there in full force to locate the missing aircraft that went missing sometime in the morning yesterday. So we've got ships, aircraft as well as submarine deployed there.